Welcome to the Living the Dream podcast with Curveball. If you believe, you can achieve. Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Living the Dream with Curveball podcast. I'm your host, Curveball, and today I am joined by Brent Harbolt. He is the founder of the Harbolt Company, and today we're going to be talking about his company, what they do, and all about their wonderful products and services. Brent, thank you for joining me today.
Thanks, Curtis. I appreciate you having me.
Hey, to get started, why don't you talk about where you're from and a little bit about your life and anything that you might want people to know before we get into your company?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, my name is Brent Harbolt. I am from Oklahoma City and pretty much grown up here. I had a brief stint in Texas and back to Oklahoma in the late 2000s and started the Harbolt Company 6 years ago. So we actually celebrating our 6 year anniversary this year and almost 5,200 orders, which is completely amazing. Um, I am very blessed because of that and got some of the best customers around. But I actually lost my eyesight when I was 19 years old, so I haven't always been blind. And so, it's I'm 48 now, so I'm kind of used to it, but definitely a little bit of a different situation than a lot of people out there that are listening, I'm sure. So.
Right. So, you say congratulations on your 6 year anniversary. Tell us about the Hardball Company and why you started it and how you got started and what you provide.
Yeah, so basically, just a little bit of my background as far as work history goes. I did, go to college and graduated with a master's degree, and then went on to do some other career type stuff. But as a lot of us probably have found out, it's not so easy to break in to the sighted work world. And so I was able to find a nice job in Texas. Not really what I went to school for, but sometimes you just kind of take what you can get. When you're dealing with that situation. And so I worked for that company until, well, the funny thing is I actually sort of still work for that company because um, the funny part is I still work for the company because I actually own it now. But it's kind of a sad situation because my boss passed away in 2015, and so I took over the company from him. But in 2014 is when I started the Harbolt Company, and it was really just out of buying some cool technology stuff and some friends saying, "Hey, could you, get me one of those?" Or, "Could you give me this? Could you give me that?" And so I realized that if I bought one for myself, but then I bought a couple extras, I could maybe sell those items and pay for the one that I ended up keeping for myself. And so that's kind of how it all started in 2014. And of course, you never start out thinking you're going to be a business. It's kind of, with me, it was started out as more of just kind of a hobby or doing something for fun, and it just kind of worked into the other things. But
So, tell
so
us
that's
about the products that you offer and about what categories and all the things that the Hardball Company offers.
so it's kind of funny because when we first started out, it was, I think, like a lot of small businesses, you maybe don't know the exact direction of where you want to go or how you want to go. And so when we first started out, we had a couple of main things in mind that we wanted to do. We wanted a very accessible website, of course. We wanted to provide, awesome customer service, and we wanted to do audio descriptions of the items that we sell. And so the funny thing is, it was kind of a little bit of an afterthought when I started. I thought, well, let's try this. Let's do an audio description and see if the people like it, if they were responsive to it. and so forth. And I did a couple audio descriptions for a couple of our first items, and then after that, everybody kept asking, for more. And so now every item on our website, we actually have an audio description for. And I've seen a few companies in the blind community actually have gone to this as well. And I'd like to feel like maybe we were a little bit of a part in helping that, get started in other businesses, because um, as a visually impaired person, to be able to audibly hear exactly, what the product is, and how it works, and what all the buttons do and everything, is a lot easier than trying to read a manual. As I'm sure, Curtis, you can attest to that, because Curtis is customer, so he bought some things from me in the past, I know. Um, so we started out, and a couple of the first items that we ever had, it was kind of opposite ends of the spectrum kind of products, because we had doggy bags to pick up after your guide dog, and then we had a self-protection item as a stun gun. So kind of opposite ends of the spectrum as far as products that we started out with. Um, but the cool thing, and we actually don't sell the stun guns anymore, and we actually don't have any doggy bags anymore on our website. But the cool thing about that is, actually a stun gun is a non-lethal device, and a blind person can use it very easily, because you don't have to be, pinpoint accurate with where you touch somebody with it. So that's kind of what we thought when we first started out, and we got, we saw, and we actually sold a lot of those. But there are a few states that, not legal to sell those in, and of course we wouldn't, sell those in those states. But those are a couple of products that we started out with.
So are all your products blindness related, or do you have products for sighted people as well?
Well, actually, that was kind of the funny thing, because another thing when I first started out is I didn't want to carry blind specific products, because there's so many people already doing that out there. And, there's people doing it very well, and doing it, better than I could probably do it. So we wanted to do something a little bit different. We wanted just to have a website that is full of different unique products that you don't have to be blind to use. But I do say that if I personally can't use the product, I won't sell it. And, that just goes back to servicing your customers, and especially the group of customers that I serve. I have to make sure that those products do work with the visually impaired. And so even though they're not, braille this, braille that, talking this, talking that, they all the products that I sell on the site, a blind person can use, and can use very, easily. And so it's kind of a half blindness, related stuff, just because they are accessible. And then, but most of the stuff, we do have a few things sometimes that we'll get in, and talking this or talking that or whatever. Um, but it's not specifically blindness related. So I've actually had a few sighted customers go on there and buy some things from me. So.
Well, how do you decide what products you're gonna sell and what not, other than if you can use them or not? Are there any other ways that you decide, hey, I'm gonna carry this product?
You know what, Curtis? That's the $1 million question in my business, is how do you know what product to sell, and how do you know what product is going to sell? And a lot of it is trial and error. Um, I've bought products before that I just swore were going to be a great seller. I, would talk to a friend, they'd say, "Oh, that's going to be a great seller," and then I put it up on my website, and just like, crickets chirping, basically. So nothing. Um, so it is a lot of trial and error, and I do, from time to time, I will get stuck with some products that I can't sell, and that's kind of just part of the business. I guess learning your audience, but even then, when I feel like I know my audience, I will end up buying some things sometimes to sell that aren't just the biggest, most popular, sellers at all. And those are the products that I end up marking down and they end up selling when I mark the prices down to the point that I'm almost giving them away, But that is the $1 million question, finding the right products to sell.
Well, I know for a while, you were even selling computer training. Can you tell us about that if you're still doing it and how that works?
Yeah, so I have been using a computer since 1990, and I'm sure there's probably a lot of people listening to you that might even haven't even weren't even born in 1990. But yes, they did have computers in 1990, and if you remember back those days, those were the DOS days. And so I've been using a computer for a while, and I feel like I'm pretty good with it. And so a couple of years ago, I thought, Windows 10, I know a lot of people going from Windows 7, Windows 10, it was kind of a pain, and some people just they didn't like it. They didn't, know how to transition very well. And so I thought, well, let me do a little tutorial type thing that you could purchase, and I would basically walk you through how to set up Windows 10 so it kind of looks like Windows 7. And I would go in and I would tweak your windows for you, and I would just turn off some settings that you don't need, turn off the stuff where Microsoft is spying on you, and just a lot of stuff that maybe people don't know about. And I started it out as a Zoom group, and I let people pay a little bit and they could come attend this Zoom group that I did, this Zoom training. And it was such a hit that I decided I would record it while I was doing the Zoom thing, and then I would just put it up on the website that somebody could, pay for and they could download. And so I actually put up two versions. One of them was you kind of do it yourself, and I would give you my tutorial. I would give you the utilities that I use and so forth, and then you could just kind of follow along and do it yourself. And then the other one was where I would actually log onto your computer remotely and basically do it for you. And there's some people out there that would rather spend an extra few bucks and just let somebody do it for them than do it themselves. They just don't want to deal with all that. They don't want to take the time to deal with it. And so I do still offer those services. Now that Windows 10 has been out for a while, I will say less and less people are purchasing those for good reason, um, because it's just like anything. The more it's out, the more you get familiar with it, and you don't necessarily need as much hand holding and stuff like that. But they are still up on the website for purchase, and I do still offer both services.
Well, I also know your company does a lot of special things like auctions, and you also do stuff special for families in need during Christmas. Tell us a little bit about your special stuff that you do during the year, and especially the families in need um, thing that you do, the fundraiser during Christmas time.
Yeah, so I've kind of always felt like I wanted to give back, and especially to my customers, because I don't want to be one of those companies that we're just there with our hands out, taking your money, and that's the only thing you hear from us, just, cha-ching, cha-ching. I don't. So we started, oh gosh, I think we've been doing it now for 5 years, a Christmas fundraiser where every Christmas we will raise money for children that that don't normally get a Christmas like we do. And it is a local group here that I deal with, and they do screen their families and so forth. And every year it just has gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. And my memory is not so good, but this last Christmas, we were able to buy Christmas for almost 30 children and raise something like a little over $3,000. And we do that by getting you guys involved, and we will do auctions. We will do um, raffles. We will do all kinds of cool, unique things to get you guys involved, so that you're helping out as well. You're helping these kids out, and I get the fun of shopping for them and delivering these gifts to the families, and seeing excuse me, seeing the tears and the hugs and everything like that. So it definitely is super fulfilling, and it's been so awesome. And like I said, I've got the best customers on the planet because they always get behind it and they always help out. Um, the other thing that I do throughout the year is I started a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. I started a category on the website that's called Helpful Resources and Utilities. And so in that category, you will find free tutorials, free utilities that I put up there, either that have been given to me, by my customers. They say, hey, I think that your group will like this, or hey, this would be a good thing. And that's just a category of stuff for you guys to be able to get. There's manuals, there's tutorials, there's utilities, there's YouTube stuff, just anything that can help out the blind community. You will find that there. And I had a customer last year that or at the first this year, she had spent tons and tons of time on writing a book on how to use Android as a blind user, because a lot of us use iPhones because it's built in. It's been around the longest for being able to use. For screen readers built into the phones like that and so forth. So, but there are some people out there that still want to use Android that are visually impaired. And so she had written this book that she had planned on selling. She said, I just want to donate it and give it to you guys to put up on your website for anybody to be able to download and get use out of. And so I have customers do that all the time. I had a customer send me how to convert YouTube videos to MP3s, and just stuff like that. And so anytime I find something useful or somebody sends me something useful, I'll put it up there. And all that stuff is free. The only thing in there that's not free are the tutorials that you mentioned from that I've done training wise, the Windows stuff. But everything else in there is just completely free to download, and it's really great. So we do that. We've got a link on our website to an online church if you need an online church home, or if you aren't able to get out to a church, you want to attend church. I have a really awesome church here in Oklahoma City. They do a lot of online stuff. They do a lot of the Bible app on the for the iPhone and stuff like that. And so I have a link there that you can get to the church messages. I also will do free giveaways and contests all throughout the year. We'll do Halloween contests, we'll Valentine's Day contests, submit the best poem, Super Bowl contest, guess the final score. And I'm always trying to do fun things like that to make the website more of a community, make the Harbolt company more of a community, and just not just a company that takes your money. And so actually just finished up an auction box. Mystery box auction is what I called it. And about once a year, I will go through and I'll take items that I have demoed, or items that I can't resell as new, and I'll go through the house and I'll get all this stuff and I'll throw it in a big box, and then I'll auction it off. And so we just had that end Monday. In fact, it was 34-pound box, 34 pounds, about 50 items, maybe more, of just electronics and headphones and earbuds and everything. And it's so fun to see how high it goes, and to watch the competition, watch people bid against each other. And that box ended at $860. So it was pretty cool. But yeah, we do some fun stuff.
I know you sometimes do seminars so you can tell your customers about your new products and stuff that you have in stock. Are there any hot products right now that you particularly like and that's selling good that you want to talk about right now?
Well, yeah, we started when all this mess started in the world with this horrible virus that's going on. We started doing Zoom groups and free Zoom groups. We've got a monthly book group we do. We've got Linda does that. We've got a monthly buy, sell, and trade where you can come on the Zoom group and you can offer to sell your stuff completely free. You can tell people what you're looking for. That's been a real success. It's been a huge hit to people just to get on there and have fun selling their stuff and buying stuff and whatever. We do a weekly hangout group where if you just want to come in and just chat about absolutely whatever you want to chat about, we do that weekly. And then I do a group where I do announce new products that the Harbolt company is selling and stuff like that. So it's kind of a way to not be so isolated. It's a way to stay social, and it's a way just to meet other people and just kind of chat about stuff. But as far as the products that we just finished up the Let's Go shopping event. I know probably a lot of you guys have heard about that, and sold a lot of that. Got to get some new stuff in the store. We got to restock, but we definitely got some great stuff up there right now. I'd say probably the couple of the biggest sellers we have is a 24-hour Bluetooth earpiece, and I personally use this usually on a daily basis. It's one of those products that I, personally use all the time, and it's awesome because I use it for IRA. I use it for just talking on your cell phone rather than having to hold it up to your ear or use speakerphone. And it's been one of the best sellers in the history of our store, I would say. And it's basically doesn't block out the sound around you. So while you have it in your ear, you can still hear what's going on around you. It's small enough to easily put in a pocket. It stays on your ear very well. It does come with some ear clips that if you want to use those. If you don't, that's fine. It's got a little rubber piece that nestles on the inside of your ear. It audibly talks to you. It's got some audible beeps and stuff like that, and it's just a really neat little earpiece, and it really does give you about 24 hours of battery life. I can go a couple weeks without having to charge this thing. And I used to sell the Plantronics, but this one is so much better than the Plantronics, and battery life is better. The the little goodies you get with it, the little extra things you get with it, it's better. And it's just my go-to earpiece now. And a lot of customers that are on the Zoom groups, and a lot of people have bought this and they absolutely love it. That's a really big seller. Um, Probably one of my favorites on the store. And then if you're an IRA user, since you probably know and you've seen that they've gone away from the hands-free thing and the glasses and all that, which I know a lot of people were not happy about that. We sell a silicone lanyard that actually goes around your neck and will hold your phone against your chest, and you can use it while are out walking. Use an IRA. That's been a huge seller on our store. We've got some really nice Bluetooth earbuds, stereo earbuds for music that have been a really great seller. And Bluetooth speakers are always, huge. Um, yeah, just and the thing is, we try to do not just electronics. We've got some home and kitchen stuff on the site. We try to keep that kind of stuff in stock. We have a magnetic cable kit that actually helps you save your Victor Stream port. And if you're one of those unfortunate people that have had to send your Victor Stream back and get the port replaced, it's a couple $100, 200-300 to do. And this magnetic kit will actually help save your port, so you're not constantly plugging and unplugging. And these are little, these are items that are actually very inexpensive, but yet could save you a lot of money in the long run. Um, so yeah, those are just a few really big sellers on our store right now.
If people wanted to get in contact with the Harbaugh Company, go ahead and give out contact information such as website, phone number if you like. email address. Also, talk about your email group because when people sign up to your group, you have special things going on there.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning that. Our website, I pride ourselves as having one of the most accessible websites out there. So when you go to the website, all of our products are separated by headings, and they've got the categories listed right there on the front page. And so you can click what category you want. You can hit, the H for heading, and it'll jump from product to product once you go into that category. Um, so real easy to use. It's also very mobile friendly. Easy to place an order on your mobile phone. I'm trying really hard to get my website company to start taking Apple Pay, and maybe eventually they will, because that'll make it that much easier. But we do take PayPal, and we do take all your normal credit cards, and we do ship all over the world. So don't be afraid if you're in another country to order from us, because there's very few countries that we ship to. I'm sorry, that we don't ship to. Very few companies that we don't ship to. I think I counted the last count. We've shipped to about 20 or 25 different countries so far. But we do make it real easy. We have a one-page checkout. So once you're not clicking through like 5 or 6 different pages to get, to check out or anything like that. We have a really simple, billing address, shipping address, and then, the payment right on one page. So that makes it real easy. Um, and so the website, it has on every page you go to, it's going to have a box that will say, sign up for our newsletter. And our newsletter, I always recommend everyone signing up, because that is where you're going to find out about our contests. That's where you're going to find out about our free giveaways, our specials, like our sales. You'll also get the Zoom invitations, because of the Zoom hacking and the Zoom bombing, I guess they're calling it. We don't publicly post our Zoom invitations for these different Zoom groups. So I always tell people, sign up for our newsletter, because that is where I send out the Zoom invitations. But that is how you're going to stay connected with us on everything that's going on. And we normally do about one email a day. And if it ever gets too many emails for you, you can easily just click the unsubscribe button at the bottom, and it immediately takes you off the list. We use Constant Contact. And I don't know if you guys know anything about Constant Contact. They're very strict about their spamming rules and things like that. So if you click unsubscribe, it really means unsubscribe. Not like you're still getting emails for the next 6 months, and then maybe they finally unsubscribe you. So I say sign up for it. If you feel like you're getting too many, then you can hit the unsubscribe button. Our website is really easy to find, because my last name is Harbolt, and that's HARB as in boy, OLT as in Tom. So it's just kind of like it sounds, Har and then bolt, like nuts and bolts. HarboltCompany.com, and company is spelled out, so it's HARBOLT and then COMPANY.com. But the funny thing is, if you go to Google and you type the word Harbolt, there's not a lot of Harbolts out there, and so I am the first website that pops up. So if you forget the address, you can easily find it that way. And I don't tell a lot of people this, but even if you want to shorten it and put Harbolt Co. Co. instead of spelling out company, harboltco.com, you will actually get to us that way, because that domain gets to us as well, harboltco.com. But our email is just sales@harboltcompany.com. And our phone number is 405 633 2572. And we do gladly take phone orders. I have so many customers that will call in and put in phone orders, and that's completely awesome. Phone orders are so, super welcome. I normally always answer the phone if unless I'm sleeping, and if you call and I don't answer it, I normally return your call within the hour. I'm really good about that. That's really important to me. And I've got customers that once they have their credit card on file with us, sometimes they'll just send me an email, say, "Hey, I want to order this," or "I want to order that," or whatever, and I'll just put their order through, and it's just easy peasy. So we try to make it definitely as easy as possible for people to take orders, or put their orders in, or place orders with us.
Is there anything that I missed that we didn't cover that you would like to talk about?
Oh man, I was hoping you'd ask me some hard questions. So yeah, but no, um, I think you covered everything. This is a something that is not just a business for me. We love to get to know our customers. If you have been, or if you get to be a part of our Zoom groups, or any of our groups for that matter, you will know I make myself available, and I like to have a personal relationship, with my customers. I don't look at them as just quote unquote customers. I look at them as friends, and I've met so many awesome people through this, and so um, it's just a lot of fun for us, and I love what I do. I love this. This this is kind of your podcast, Curtis, is calling "Living the Dream." Well, this is kind of my dream job. Being able to play with electronics, and play with items, and then sell them, and talk about them, and so forth. So um, it's a lot of fun for me. It really is.
Well, Brent, congratulations on your 6 years of success. Thank you for joining me, and I look to talk to you in the future.
Yeah, congratulations on your new podcast, man. I wish you the best with that.
For more information on the Living the Dream podcast, visit www.djcurveball.com. Until next time, stay focused on living the dream.